guys, welcome back to my channel for a Q&A. I asked over on Instagram. Like always, I say the same intro every time I do a Q&A. So I'm here to answer your questions. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. I've had quite a few newer people since I've done a few collabs of cleaning videos with some other YouTubers, so I am very happy to have you, and maybe this Q&A will help you learn something about me that you don't already know. And I'm gonna do this as if you don't know a lot about me, just in case you are new. Some of it will at least make sense to you. But I'm gonna go ahead and start answering the questions that I got, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Okay, the first question is, do you miss living in Florida? A girl that I grew up with and went to school with from elementary through part of high school asked that. And I don't actually miss living in Florida. My biological dad used to live in North Florida, and I much miss Alabama. I miss that more than Florida just because it's a bigger area to live in. The town I lived in when I lived with my dad for a short period was so super tiny, and I need a bigger town to live in. I can't do that middle of nowhere living anymore, but I do miss the warm weather living down there, and I wouldn't trade those memories of living there for the world. The next person asked, if you had to decide over again, if you were going to transfer one or two, what would you do? And if you are new, they are talking about embryos. I have twins via IVF. We chose to transfer 2 embryos. And in regards to the question, no, I would not do it over again. It's not that I hoped to get twins in the beginning, but now that I have them, I don't regret my decision. People ask me all the time this question, and I don't think I've ever answered it in a video before, so I will elaborate. But the reason we were back and forth on 1 or 2, I was leaning more towards 1, and then I straight up just asked God, like, give me a sign. And when I first got the sign, which I have a video on the whole sign situation, I was like, oh, he's saying transfer 2, transfer 2. But then my old boss was like, maybe he's saying if you transfer 2, you definitely will get twins. So maybe I misread that sign, but we ended up putting in 2, we ended up getting twins. I love it. It's not what everyone said it was going to be. If you've ever been pregnant with twins, you will know that most people that hear that will be like, oh my gosh, good luck, like you're never gonna sleep again. It's never nice comments. It's actually kind of backhanded, rude comments most people will give you. And most of those people don't have twins themselves, and the ones who do have twins will be very supportive, and it's not as hard as those other people make you think it's gonna be. I love it. It's fun. Is it difficult? Yeah, it's not like having 1 baby. My life is drastically different now. I can't just up and go wherever I want to without getting my whole herd into the car, but I would not change it for the world. The next question is, who is your biggest inspiration on YouTube? And I'm going to go with basically my everyday inspiration now that I am a mom of multiples, and that's Jamie from Jamie Journey. I'm sure a lot of you guys know her. A lot of you came here from her channel. She's a huge inspiration. She's a full-time working mom. She has her daughter who is 4, and she has twin girls, and she's still uploading on YouTube, still keeping her life together. Her husband's back at work now, and she's just holding the fort down, and she's amazing. We've been there back and forth for each other, and I would really love to go and visit her someday. We live, I think, 8 hours apart. So it's not like it's that far. It's like way closer than going when I go back home. So I would love to do like a meetup with her sometime because she's amazing. And she's just truly a role model mom. She's a role model YouTuber. She's everything. She's so kind, and she's just a massive inspiration for me. The next person asked, what are some names that you absolutely love but will never get to use for one reason or another? Good question. I have some videos like this, but I will answer with some names I've never talked about before. One of my favorite names for a girl is the name Frankie. I love that name ever since Drew Barrymore used it for her daughter. I think maybe her youngest one. I've loved it ever since then. I think it just sounds so spunky, and it kind of matches my daughter Aniston's personality. She could totally be a Frankie in my opinion. I love that name. I'm just obsessed with it. I think it's just adorable for a little girl and for a boy. It could totally be unisex, but I personally would probably go more for a girl for this name, and probably jokingly call her Frank just to be funny. But for a boy, I've always loved the name Clark. I heard, obviously this is Superman's first name that his adopted parents gave him, however you want to say that. On Smallville, when Tom Welling was playing Clark Kent, I just love the name. The name Clark is very handsome sounding. It sounds like just you're all-American like sports player. You just sound like you're a handsome guy. And I would never use this name because even though it fits with my kids' names, because all my kids have last names, if I've ever discussed a name with someone in my past, like that I was romantically involved with, I would just never use a name because those names I attach to those people. So I just personally don't believe in using names that you discussed with past relationships in a current one, if that makes sense. Totally personal preference, I know, but that's just my personal opinion. So unfortunately, I just love that name so much, and I just love it. It's just like one of my favorite ones, and you don't meet people named Clark. At least I don't meet people named Clark. I think I've heard of one Clark, and that was like 4 or 5 years ago at a playground. The mom was like talking to her baby, calling him Clark. So just love that name. The next person asked, how did you create your YouTube channel banner and end screen? That was 2 different questions. Someone asked about my end screen and someone asked about my YouTube channel banner. So I'm just gonna answer both. I wish I could say that I made them, but I did not make them. I went on Etsy and typed in something like YouTube channel art or something, and then it ended up coming up this girl who made banners, and she also made my watermark, my end screen. She did all of it for me, and I want to say it was relatively good price. I think it was like 50 bucks, maybe 60 for a banner, a watermark, and the end screen. And I'm not talented or creative with Photoshop and coming up with ideas, so I let her just spearhead it, and it looks great. I did pick the colors, and that was as far as I went with it. So she's really talented, and if I can find the shop, it's been a while since I've had it. I'll try to find the shop, and if I can, I will link it down below for you guys. But yeah, I highly recommend doing that for your channel, no matter how small your channel is. Like mine's relatively small compared to all of my YouTube friends, but even if you have like 100 subscribers, if I came onto a channel and it looked that nice, I think I'd be more intrigued. So I think aesthetically, even if you have like 10 subscribers and you want to take YouTube seriously, I highly recommend getting a banner and an end screen. The next question is, am I going to be getting my baby girl's ears pierced? If so, when? Probably not. I think I'm going to wait. I just don't know. I've gone back and forth about this, and it looks really cute when they're babies and stuff, but honestly, I probably will let her tell me when she wants them done and then go get them, because I don't know. I'm probably going to wait, to be honest. Nothing against doing it when they're young. I just personally think I'm gonna wait this time because I did not wait with Aniston, and I don't have regrets, but I just think I'll probably just wait this time. The next question is from Chelsea and Eric, another YouTuber that I love. I love her so much. She just had a baby girl, so if you're interested in like new mommy, like newborn videos, go check out her channel, Chelsea and Eric, I'm pretty sure, or maybe it's Chelsea Hansen. It's one of those two. But she said, would you prefer having a house cleaner or a personal chef? And I will be straight up honest, I would rather have a personal chef. If I'm on Pinterest looking at recipes and I go to the steps and there's like more than like 6 or 7 ingredients and a lot of steps, I'm back out looking for something else because I just don't love to cook. There are certain things that I love to cook every once in a while that require a lot of steps. Most of the time that's more like baking, like sweets type of thing. But I'm all about the grilled chicken and vegetable type of life. It's easy, it's simple, and that's what I will go for because it's easy and fast. I just want something that's really, really fast. I hate spending time actually cooking in the kitchen, dirtying up all these dishes and then staring at them while you're eating and then dreading getting up and cleaning everything back up. So if I had a personal chef, I would pick out whatever recipes I wanted because they would enjoy cooking and they would clean up afterwards, and I would much rather clean my entire house every single day than cook 3 meals a day. The next person asked, what would you like to do if you could be kid-free for a night? And usually when I go back to Alabama, I end up being kid-free because my mom's like, go, get out, spend time for yourself. Normally I will go out at night, movie, at a bar, dancing, anything at all that I enjoyed before having children. I'm still able to go and see movies and things like that now, but going out for like a drink at night and going out dancing, and back home they have like line dancing and it's so much fun. I really, really love doing that. But if I was here in Iowa and I had a night out, I probably honestly would just like go to my friend's house, who her and I do the Hunt a Killer like crime scene solving like murders subscription box, and I'd work on one of those with her because that's my favorite thing to do. That's my me time, and I am so obsessed with Hunt a Killer. Most of you guys know if you follow me on Instagram. It's everything. The next person asked, how am I losing the baby weight? I just recently started making better choices with eating. I eat very simple. I'm not kidding. Like in the morning, eggs and egg whites, and for lunch, like a turkey burger with some kind of vegetable, and then at dinner time, probably the same thing, like meat and a veggie. Sometimes I do like a shake instead of eating a meal. I'll go through, we have a local store who does like Herbalife shakes, which are kind of like meal replacement shakes, but they are so good, and they actually do fill you up, like for real. I've tried shakes and I'm starving after an hour. Those really fill me up. So I try those too, and then I have been running at night with my neighbor slash friend, and that's helped a lot. We go about 3 to 4 miles a night. We normally run, in 2 weeks, we normally run about 9 or 10 days out of those 14 days. So we do have breaks, but that's what's really starting to help me lose the weight, because I was plateaued for a minute. And now that I'm 3.5 months postpartum, I'm trying to be as serious as possible, because I don't want to, a year from now, regret not spending this time wisely. The next question is, would you rather live in the country or the city? And honestly, neither. I would rather live in between. So I don't want it to be so crowded where you have to walk everywhere and you have taxis that take you places. But I also don't want to live in the middle of nowhere. I really want to live like kind of like here where I'm at right now. There's Target close by. You hop on the interstate. There's a mall in like, 30-minute drive. And it's nice to just have the luxuries of restaurants and Target and Chick-fil-A all in the same town. But as you jump on the interstate, there's things that you can get to that are bigger and more city-like, but just not crowding your current town. So hopefully that makes sense. I think the correct answer would be town, not city or country. But I'm sure you guys know what I mean, because just a normally like dense populated town with civilization, just not overcrowded, if that makes sense. And the last question I'm getting asked, because I mentioned this on Instagram, I'm getting a flood of messages about college, why I'm starting back college. So let's get into this. It's gonna be just a kind of a longer answer, but I'll be honest and say that one of my biggest regrets in life is not going to is not going to college after high school. I really wish I would have went. I was one of those people who said I would take a year off and go back, and I actually did take a year off and go back. A lot of times people just don't go back, and they advise against taking a year or two off. And I will advise my kids hopefully to not take that year or two off, if I'm being honest. And I did go back, but when I went back, there were a lot of things going on in my life that if I had just went sooner, that wouldn't have been a barrier. So after I went back and I was in college, well then Brian comes along, and then the wedding, and then Anniston, and then moving to Iowa. And I still went to college and transferred up here, but then things just got really difficult, and there really shouldn't be an excuse, because people do it that are single moms with like 5 kids. And my best friend just went to nursing school and finished as a single mom with 3 kids for most of her nursing school, and she worked at the same time. I have no idea how she did it, you guys. She is another inspiration of mine. She's everything. She's amazing. And yeah. So anyway, that kind of inspired me to go ahead and just go back now. Obviously with the twins, it's going to be really, really hard. I will be doing most of it online. I will be sharing what university I'm going to and what I'm studying as soon as it's all finalized. I just don't want to look stupid and be all excited and then it not work out. So bear with me, I'll know in like a couple of days. So it's not like, by the time this video goes up, I probably will already know. So I will do a video on it as soon as I am able to. But I know that college isn't everything to everyone. To me, college is really important because what I want to do requires a degree. I do eventually want to get my master's as well. And while I liked coding and I really enjoyed that career, and I'm grateful for the career because I made just as much money as most people that do have their bachelor's degrees. I want to be in a career that I love, not just like, and that's kind of where I'm at. I've always wanted a college education. No one in my family has a college education, you guys. No one in Brian's family has a college education as far as I know. His brother might, but both of our parents, our step parents, our siblings, except for I think his brother, who I've never met, he doesn't live near here. No one has a college degree, and most of my family doesn't even have an associate's degree. So I will be the first one in my immediate family, like for several generations, to actually get a bachelor's degree. And that's why I really want to push myself to do it. Oh, camera died, of course. It's like, shut up, girl. So that's why I really want to do it. I want to do it to get into my career field, but I also want to show my kids, like later on, even though I didn't go right away, I still made it happen. Even though I am 27 and a half, I'm nearing in on 30. I don't know, education is just important to me, and I wish I would have taken it seriously a long time ago. I'm just gonna make it work. You know, I'm gonna go to classes online. I'm going to go in whenever I can. I'm just gonna make it happen, and it might take me a little bit longer, but I do have a lot of classes already behind me, so I'm really happy for that. And I'm gonna be talking to a counselor to make sure that the major I'm choosing actually makes sense for what I want to do. And I hope that clears up any questions, but I will go more in depth about where I'm going and what I'm doing whenever it's finalized. And thanks for bearing with me on that. I know that it was kind of a blind side to most people. A lot of you didn't realize I was gonna be going back. I think for me, it's just important, and degrees aren't everything. I understand that degrees aren't everything, and not everyone thinks you need a college degree. As a matter of fact, some of my friends who have the most money don't have a college degree, and they're extremely happy, and they have very successful careers. But what I'm wanting to do with my career requires a degree. So I'll talk about that more later. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like I don't make any sense when I talk sometimes, and I watch these videos back and I'm like, what am I even talking about? I don't make any sense when I'm speaking. So that's gonna be all for this Q&A, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I plan on doing another one when I hit about 20,000 subscribers. Holy crap. So I'm planning on doing Q&As every couple of thousand subscribers, just to keep everything updated and the newer people can kind of learn something about me. So if you have any other video requests, please let me know down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.